So now I'm going to be reading the prophecy, and I'm going to read the prophecy, and I'm going to bring out what God has said as always, and then I will go over it briefly, and because there's still more. Oh, yes, before I read the prophecy, I did say that I was going to share not only what God said this morning, but this morning I had a brief dream. I'm just going to add it here because it's too brief to make its own prophecy. I had a very brief dream. I don't even think this dream was longer than 2 minutes long. And what I saw is I saw that we had come back to a time where we were back in face masks, and this time it was extremely stringent regulations. It was so stringent that, in fact, I didn't see people successfully being able to put up a fight. I don't know what exactly had happened, but then I have said that we will have a worse than the Rona coming here in the future. But whatever it is, we were back in face masks, and Americans were so angry that the predominant face mask that people were wearing was the United States flag. I saw a lot of people in the US flag because that was the only form of protest that people were allowed. They were wearing the face masks of the flag, and above the face mask, you can't really see. So when the face is covered like this, all you can really see is the eyes. I saw so many people with disapproving, scowling, angry looks. They were so upset. People were so upset. But for some reason, there was not much talking. There was not a lot of vocality. There was none of the stuff that Americans do now because it is tolerated. I've always told you that the government is merely tolerating us. The United States government, please hear me, cannot do what it really wants to do, because part of the reason of advertising yourself a certain way for so long, part of the reason that it's very effective is because if you have the kind of media machine, if you have the kind of PR, if you have the kind of brainstorming and marketing that America has employed to make people all over the world believe that this is heaven on earth, then it's very hard for you to go from 0 to 100 and suddenly restyle yourself as a kind of Kim Jong-un type of dynastical, tyrannical mind control kind of spot. It will cause too much of a flare up here in America and internationally. And so the United States government can never and will never restyle itself suddenly as a regime, which God says it is. This is a tyrannical regime. It's just dressed up in fashionable clothing, and it has great marketing and PR. And so the people in the nation, by and large, continue to stay gaslit by the government that we're your friend, we're your supporter, and things like that. But the government is never, apropos of nothing, going to move from we're the bastion of freedom. We bear the cross of freedom. We fight for freedom across the world because we are the protectors of freedom here at home, and we just want to make everybody else free. The U.S. government is never going to move from selling you freedom to selling you curfews, selling you forced arm candy and forced boostables of the arm candy. The government cannot move full scale into that. The reason they did it in 2020 is because they sold fear, and America runs on fear, not Duncan, fear. They sold fear flawlessly. And that is why they were able to do that. But now too many eyes are open, and that's not going to work. So it will either be some kind of hard impact thing or something else. But all I know is that the government will not be able to restyle itself into something that will have us back in face masks, but less vocal, unless that thing is at a threat level where even the so-called patriotic sons of freedom, you can't get us. We're going to be in Florida, and we're still going to be outside on the beaches and everything, whatever beaches remain. It's not going to happen unless something that is above what even protest can work on happens. So that is just all I want you to know. God showed me just to see if people milling around, so angry, wanting to speak, all they could do was just show disapproval with their faces. But they were back in the face masks, and I saw that, and I just thought, well, Lord, just guide and keep your people through whatever it is it's going to be. And so here we go with the earthquake prophecy. The San Francisco earthquake is closer than you think. Don't forget what I told you about it. Don't let it be off your mind. It will be one of the most devastating earthquakes in American history, a 9 or higher on the Richter scale, striking at a time of full rush hour traffic when everyone will be in the street. It will not happen at an off-peak time or day, but on a weekday, a busy time of day, a time when everyone will be in the street, all up and down the coast of LA. That quake will be felt in parts of California. California will be shattered off of the mainland into the sea, never to be seen again. He's talking about parts of California here. It will be, 1, a major disaster, and 2, the worst in the nation's history. And the world is not ready to see America humbled and suffering like that. The world will have mixed reactions to the quake, laughing and crying. While at home, Americans will be completely devastated and crying out for a relief that will not come. There is no way to retrieve bodies from the water, nor homes that have sunk underground. Huge craters will open up inland of California because of the San Francisco earthquake. This earthquake is coming. Alert everyone to be on their guard for what will be one of the greatest judgments from God in living history. America, you will join the likes of Rome for her fires and Atlantis for her sinking in the sea. It will cut gas lines everywhere, and huge fires will break out all over LA and most of California. It will be a blaze of fire, flood from incoming, onrushing seawater, sinkholes from ground instability, electrical fires from the light poles will break out, earthquake tremors coming every minute to increase the instability and danger of the whole terrain, and many other things will be seen. It will cause a mass tsunami due to the drop of the land mass into the ocean, and one of the greatest death tolls ever recorded will be seen in American history. You have reached the end of an era. You have reached the year of no safety, no protection, no warning. 2025, I'm coming for you, America. I will bend you to my will, by the things you suffer. And the end result will be like a pretzel going through the twisting process to end up in its final shape. I am through with talking to you to no avail. I am through with warning you, through with castigating you like a stubborn child who will not listen to reason or warning anymore. I'm going to show you what I mean when I say the wages of sin is death. I'm going to show you that I am the Lord. This is the word of the Lord. And so before I go any further, I will come back here. I've been speaking about this California earthquake, the oldest